All right, Tuesday morning, that means it's time for our weekly check-in with infectious diseases specialist, Dr. Isaac Bogoch. Dr. Bogoch, always appreciate your time. Measles has been back in the local news this week. The city's first reported case of the highly contagious virus coming this year. On Wednesday, Toronto Public Health said people who were at Terminal 1 in Pearson between 1:40 and 4:10 p.m. on February 22nd may have been exposed. And then earlier on Wednesday, York Region Public Health reporting a confirmed case of measles acquired outside of Canada. So you and I have talked at length about Canada losing its measles elimination status. Is this the kind of headline and stories we should now be expecting?
Sadly, yes. Wow. But, it doesn't have to be. Listen, there's a ton of measles around the world. Canada, not as much, but a lot of a huge global resurgence of measles. People are going to travel and people are going to land in Canada with measles. But it's, of course, up to us to ensure that our vaccine rates are high enough such that when we do see these inevitable imported cases, we don't see subsequent change of transmission. Mm-hmm. But, we can control what happens within our country. We obviously can't control what happens beyond our borders. We will see people landing in Canada with measles, but we should be taking steps to prevent these very large outbreaks that we saw in the 2025 calendar year with over 5,000 reported cases of measles in the country. And we can do that with routine childhood immunizations, such as the routine MMR vaccine.
It's interesting, we're taking a look at, we just changed to a shot of measles, but before that, we were showing Pearson Airport. Those terminals are filled with thousands of people, at the time of, potentially this arrival of somebody with measles, potentially hundreds more in York Region exposed. I think people want to, know or maybe be reassured here. How close do you have to be to someone who has measles to be at risk of getting it? I mean, being in the same terminal, that seems a little far-fetched, but, close proximity, air spread, that sort of thing. What do we need to be keeping in mind?
2 points. If you're immune, you could be right beside someone and you're going to be fine, right? If you've been vaccinated or you've had the infection and recovered from infection and are immune and you're standing right next to someone, you're going to be fine. But if you're not immune, remember, measles is probably the most contagious infection we know on the planet. It lingers in the air for long periods of time. It can travel through the air through longer distances. So even if you're in the same terminal as someone with measles, there is a reasonable probability that you'll get it. Let me give you an example. If someone goes into a doctor's office or an office setting and they have a measles infection and then they leave, so they're no longer in there, and a non-immune person walks in up to 2 hours later, they can still get this infection. It requires very little exposure, and of course this can linger in the air, and it just has a knack for finding non-immune people. So yeah, if you're not immune, sadly we live in a world where there's so much circulating measles and we're even importing cases into Canada from time to time. Ultimately, it's just a matter of time that someone will be exposed. Okay,
that is a real reality check there. Really quickly, Dr. Bogoch, March break coming up next week. Any advice for people traveling or staying here when it comes to staying safe from potential diseases?
Yeah, I mean, routine childhood immunizations are key. Speak with a travel medicine specialist before you go. There are certain diseases in different parts of the world that we don't have here. A travel medicine specialist will give you significant, really good tips to stay healthy and enjoy that precious time off. You can get infections through bug bites. You can get infections through food and water. You can get infections through contact with the environment. There's other non-infectious exposures. And again, it's our time off. We work so hard for this. Enjoy it. Have a wonderful and safe time. And you can do that by seeking pre-travel advice before you go.
Yeah, you don't want to spend it in the hospital or the bathroom. Absolutely. That's for sure. Okay, Dr.
One other
Bogoch.
thing, Nick, I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
Travel insurance, right?
Yes.
You need health insurance when you travel. Many people forget that. And God forbid they get sick when they're away. It can cost a lot of money. So it's very important that people remember to have health insurance when they travel.
Okay, another good point. Well, that's why we turn to you, Dr. Bogoch. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Thanks, Nick.
Take care.